Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, students. आवाज येतोय ना सगळ्यांना?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. आवाज.
झोपला नाही ना कोणी?
नाही sir. नाही.
So within few minutes, the expert Dr. S.D. Patil sir joined with us. So then after the at 3 o'clock we have the one lecture, that is the commercial organic farming. The expert is Professor Dr. Prashant Bodke sir. He is working as a head Department of Agronomy at Dr. BSKKV Dapoli. Good afternoon, sir. ओके सर. सर आवाज येतोय? पाटील सर. हॅलो. हॅलो पाटील सर, आवाज येतोय तुम्हाला? ओके. सर अनम्यूट करा. यस यस. ओके सर. नाही, अनम्यूट नाही झालेला अजूनही. ऑडिओ डिस्कनेक्ट दिसतोय. आता कनेक्टेड आहे. अनम्यूट करा बरं. अरे बाबा. तर आता ऑडिओ कनेक्टेड दाखवतोय पण म्यूट आहे ते. आणि अनम्यूट केलं का ऑडिओ डिस्कनेक्ट होतोय.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So welcome, sir, and please share the mic with you.
Shall I start now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to one and all. Hello.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Dear friends, looking towards this tutorial schedule for JRF as well as the SRF as well as the MSCET examination for PG program as well as the SRF program. The topic is given to myself, Dr. Sunil Patil, Assistant Professor of Horticulture from Horticulture Department, College of Agriculture, Dhule. And the topic is given to me, canopy management in fruit crops. As for this syllabus, we are just looking at this topic. This topic is not only important for the students, those who are appearing or preparing for the JRF examination or SRF examination, but this topic is also important for the students, those who are studying now in first semester of BSc Honors Agriculture. Hello, students.
Yes, sir.
Do you know this is the topic for your fundamentals of horticulture in the first semester? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the topic for fundamentals of topic in fundamentals of horticulture. From that point, it is also important, as well as from JRF point, this is also important. First of all, let us see. First of all, what we will see. What do you mean by canopy? And when we are thinking about the canopy is nothing but the physical composition, and this composition is comprising of the tree, stem, branches, shoots, leaves. These are the different plant parts. These are the different parts of the tree, and which are coming together. They are comprising the canopy. And this canopy is again goes to be elaborated in a different way. That is canopy density. आपण ज्यावेळेस म्हणतो की झाड विरळ आहे, झाडची सावली सावली जी आहे तर ती डार्क आहे. The shadow of the tree is dark likewise, and it depends upon the density of the canopy. And this canopy density is determined by number as well as the size of the leaves and its architecture, means its arrangement, whether it is a simple composite or sometimes the leaves are elongated, obtuse, or terminally tapering towards the tip. Likewise, this is the architecture, and this number as well as the size of the leaf and architecture, which will determine number, length, and orientation of the branches and shoots also. And in this way, these are the different components which are coming together and are determining the canopy density. And on the basis of the canopy density, it is giving the shape, and that we can categorize into the shade, which is a dark shade, or which is a sometimes that is a shy shade likewise. And afterwards, we will come to the point that is the canopy management. And when we are doing canopy density, at that time, we will see about the canopy management of the fruit trees. And this canopy management, it deals with the development, maintenance of the structure in relation to the size and shape. And why we should interested in this maintenance of the structure and relation of this in relation to the size and shape for maximizing the yield. And maximizing the yield is not our motto, but at the same time, quality is also important. And in this way, whatever we are following the different practices in order to maximize or making the optimum yield potential along with the best quality, those practices are coming under the category, coming under the canopy management also. Most of the important production factors which are confronting and burgeoning fruit industry in India. Burgeoning means it is going to be this canopy management is important for burgeoning the fruit industry, and due to which it is going to flourish in India. And Another factor, that is the National Horticulture Board, National Horticulture Mission, Employment Guarantee Scheme, Manrega. These are the different kinds of the factors which are organizing the fruit industry in India also. And manipulation of the tree canopy is done for getting the production potential, optimizing the production potential, as well as excellent quality of the fruits. And this thing is done in many fruit crops in order to increase the production, enhance the fruit quality, and we are achieving by managing the canopies of the short stature trees. Short stature trees means the trees which are having the short height, or in Marathi we can say that is a kuji or butki zada. And in this way, the small trees capturing and converting the sunlight into the fruit production in a best way than the larger one, because the size of the small tree is smaller and it will get exposed to the sunlight during the 12 hours, during the day hours, but in all directions, and the air is also going to swell within the trees also. And that's why capturing and conversion of the sunlight into the fruit production is best as compared to the larger trees. Now, which are the main factors which are controlling this management, canopy management? Among that, first one, amount of incoming radiation. How much radiation is getting by the tree? And another one, that is a percentage of radiation intercepted by the canopy. म्हणजे त्या झाडाला तुमचं सूर्यप्रकाश किती उपलब्ध होतोय आणि मिळणारा जो सूर्यप्रकाश आहे त्याच्यातनं how much percentage of radiation has been intercepted by the tree, because photosynthesis is also going on the tree, in the tree within itself for production of food material. And in this way, these are the two important factors which are controlling this canopy management also. Now, the light interception, we have seen radiation. Light interception is the amount of available light intercepted by the tree canopy. Canopy means leaves, branches, shoots, small branches, trunks, all these are coming under this canopy, what we are seeing in the earlier. And the interception is a function of plant density, branches, and tree orientation, along with the canopy shape, size, as well as the leafy index within the canopy also. And in this way, it is performing its function for the interception among the canopy management also. For commercial fruit growing, what we are doing, we are growing them in a natural form as well as the shape of the fruit trees, and we are going to modify them through the pruning. Canopy management is a broad term. In the next slide, I will show. Canopy management is a broad term, but when we are goes in detail, at the time we see it can be modified through the pruning, training, use of growth regulators, as well as the use of different kinds of the pruning practices, orcharding, high density planting, use of the different rootstock. These are the components which are coming in this canopy management also. And while pruning, we are achieving the target of the high yield along with the better quality of the fruits also. This canopy management has a direct correlation with different factors, and among that different factors, first one, that is a dry matter production. Second one, that is the flower bud initiation, which is one of the most important physiological phenomenon in the lifespan of the tree when it bearing the fruits. And third one factor, that is the fruit quality. In this way, these are the three factors which are having a correlation or directly correlated with this canopy management also. Some of the basic principles in the canopy management are there, and let's do one by one. First one, maximum utilization of the sunlight. When we are following this different management practices, training, pruning, as well as different kinds of the growth regulators, as well as different kinds using different kinds of the root stocks. At that time, we are trying to utilize the maximum utilization of the sunlight by all vessels during the morning, during the afternoon, during the evening hours also. And second one, basic principle of the canopy management, avoidance of the buildup of the microclimate. And why we are going to avoid this buildup of the microclimate? Because it is creating the congenial condition for establishment of disease as well as the pest infestation. Third one factor, convenience in carrying out the cultural practices. If we didn't follow the training and pruning practices, what will happen? They will grow in a natural form. I will show you in the next slide the photographs. If we are following the pruning and training, then what will happen? And if it is not followed, then how what is going to happen? And in this way, this is useful. Almost of the times we see, you might have seen from the ground or near about 1 meter above the stem, we are not allowing to grow the different kinds of the branches. Why does it happen? Why we are recommending or don't go for establishment of the branches up to 1 meter from the ground level? Because it helps us to carry out the different cultural practices. And the cultural practices, application of manures, fertilizers, sometimes stirring of the soils, making of the beds. These are the different cultural practices which will be carried out very easily. Next one, basic principle, that is maximizing the productivity with quality for production. We are not increasing the productivity, but at the same time, we are giving due emphasis on the quality of the fruit also. Economy in obtaining the required canopy architecture. We are not only just employing the labor for maintaining the canopy, but at the same time, we are also looking into the matter how it will become cost effective also. This maximum utilization of the light by the penetration in and outside of the canopy. In and outside means it means the Jalapan Marathi means झाडाचा गाभा म्हणूया, and outside means outer periphery of the canopy also. It facilitates the aeration inside the canopy, especially in case of the pomegranate. There is a big problem of this aeration inside the canopy. Otherwise, it becomes an ideal house for development of the different pests, diseases, bacterial blight, वगैरह. Next one, facilitating the conversion of sunlight into the chemical energy by the plant leaf by means of the photosynthesis. Next one, that is we have seen, that is the microclimate as well as the next one, that is the cultural practices. Now, control plant structure including stature. When we want to control the plant structure means canopy by means of the training and pruning also. Or sometimes we can use the growth. We can use the growth regulator, or we can use the rootstock as per our need also, and so that the plant structure will become a controllable. Better utilization of the natural resources. Whatever the natural resources, sunlight, aeration, water, these are the different factors which we are going to utilize in a natural way. Prone to mechanization and feasibility in the cultural practices. If proper distance is maintained, so that small tractor is going to be passing through the different rows different rows, as well as the different plant to plants, and so that mechanization is possible for carrying out the cultural practices. Another one, regulate the proportion of the different parts, that is the source and sink, and only the mature leaves of the plants are capable to harness the solar energy. Now, let us will come to the tools. Canopy management is a broad term, which I have told you earlier. But among that, in order to achieve the canopy of the tree or canopy architecture, different tools are there. Among that, first one, that is the planting density, high density planting. Do you have studied this high density planting? Senior students might have studied in first semester as well as in the fourth semester also, and the first semester might have studied in the first semester. That is the high density planting. Use of buck rootstocks. Buck rootstock in mango, you might have seen. That is the Olur, Bapakai, Vele Columban. These are the rootstocks which are useful for controlling the size. When we go for high density planting, at that time we have to minimize the planting distance from plant to plant and row to row, and for that purpose, these suitable rootstocks we are using, which are having controllable size of the canopy. Third one tool, training and pruning system, which will be useful for ground clearance, shoot initiation, ventilation, light interception from the canopy. And this canopy size is controlled by the canopy density, induction of the fluids, and elimination of the waste also. Fourth one tool, we can use the rootstocks and sign varieties, bluffing rootstocks, which I have told you, that is Vele Columban, Olur, Bapakoi, 13-1, 7-1, some of the rootstocks which are salt tolerant also, in case of the mango as well as in case of the grapes also. Fifth one, use of the plant growth regulators as well as chemical. Psychosil, peclobutrazone, we can use them for controlling the canopy size. Next one, if we want to increase the fruiting in the fruit trees, at that time we can use potassium nitrate, ethaphone, as well as ethaphone. These are the two units, two chemicals which we can use them. Third one, that is induction of the flowering. For induction of the flowering, we can put the help of the psychosil, benzene adenine, as well as the peclobutrazone. And sixth tool, that is orchard shore management and input management. Among first one, that is weed management. Second one, stress to induce the flowering, grape as well as the mango also. And we can review the plant size, especially in case of the banana as well as the papaya. And let us we will see one by one training and pruning. Different training systems of training you might have studied in the first semester. First semester students, hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Do you have studied in your course of fundamentals of horticulture training systems? Even though you don't recall, let me know whether you have studied or not till now. Hello. Hello. अरे बोला ना.
Semester students.
When you are going to interact with me, that will be best option for us, so that we can enjoy this class. And for that purpose, I am asking you. I am not going to judge your knowledge, judge your recalling capacity. Okay, let it be. This is the central ladder system, which is followed in case of apple, cherry, pear, pecan, as well as the plum also. And this system is derived from the central ladder system. And first, from this central ladder system, first one is the multi-leader training system, which is followed in case of the apple, pear, modified central ladder system, third one spindle, vertical axis, and slender system. Next, I will show you the photographs in the next coming slide. That is a super spindle, double ladder system, format system, VH system, open tatura trellis, open center, or vast drain, which is followed in case of the peach, nectarine, as well as the plum, which are called as the temperate fruit crops. These are the different training systems of intensive planting. Intensive planting means close planting than the regular planting system or the planting distance. Suppose mango is planted at the distance of 10 meter by 10 meter from plant to plant and row to row, and in intensive planting system, it is planted by 3 meter by 1 meter or 5 meter by 5 meter. Likewise, this tatura trellis system is followed in case of peach, pyramid system in followed in case of apple, cordon system in peach, curtain system in apple, and hedgerow system is followed in apple, peach, pear, as well as the guava also. Now, these are the different parts of the plants. Before going to start the training system, we should know the different parts of the tree. You might have studied. Trunk means it is the mainstem of the plant. Head, this is nothing but the point on the trunk from which the first branch is arising. Here you can see. This is the main trunk. This is the main trunk which you can see here, and this is the first branch on the tree which is arise from this portion, and this one portion is called as the height of the head. Scaffold branches means nothing but the main branch arising from the head, means main branch which is arising from the first branch. This is the scaffold branch. Look at this. I'm just rolling my scroll here. Next one, low headed tree, where the height from the ground level is 0.7 to 0.9 meter. That is called as low headed tree. And high headed tree, where the plant is having 1.2 meter above from the ground level. Next one, that is the crotch. Crotch is divided into the narrow crotch and broad crotch. Crotch is nothing but the angle. Look at this. This is the main stem, and this is the branch. The branch which has been made the angle along with the main stem, that is called as crotch. If it is a wider, then it is a good. If it is a narrow, then it is a somewhat creating the fear among us when it will come bearing stage, and the branches will bear the fruits. At that time, the branch will get broken down also, and that's why the crotch should be broad and it should not be narrow. You always keep in mind. Leader, the main stem growing from the ground level up to the peak, dominating all other branches. Water shoots. These are the water shoots, which are arising from the ground level, which are arising from the ground or main branch also. Next one, that is the water suckers. These water suckers are arising in large quantity in case of the pomegranate also. Central leader system. Here you can see the trunk is extending from the ground surface to the top of the tree. main stem is encouraging the form the central pole. This is the main stem. This is the main stem which is forming the main pole. And advantage of the central leader system is development of the strong structure at the junction of limb and stem. म्हणजे ज्या ठिकाणी तुमच्या फांद्या आणि खोड त्या ठिकाणी असतात त्या ठिकाणी ते एक चांगलं पैकी जंक्शन तयार करतात जेणेकरून तिथून फांद्या पाकळणार नाहीत and branches didn't goes to be broken down. Shape of the central leader system, these are the different shapes. And for example, the Christmas tree, I would like to put example here. These are the different kinds of the terminal portion which we have to prune here, and accordingly these are the different kinds of the scaffolds which we are going to prune in such a fashion so that they become strong, having the broad angle also. Open center is the self-explanatory. You can see this this is central portion which is the open one. Next one, that is a modified ladder system. It is a intermediate between these two, central ladder and modified ladder, open center and central ladder system. And we are going to allow them to go up to certain height, and afterwards we have to just cut back them or head it back 1 to 2 meters from the soil surface, and the lateral branches are allowed to grow. And the lowest lateral remains 60 centimeter or more above the ground level also. And it results into the formation of the strong and moderate spreading trees, and it is advantageous more than central ladder as well as the open ladder system. Now let us we can see here the planting density. Spindle or free spindle or the bush spindle density is 2000 number of the plants per hectare, where the height is maintained 2 to 3 meter and the planting distance is 3 to 5 meter by 1 to 2 meter. Next one, that is the vertical axis. Here you can see the stem of the tree is growing in the vertical direction, just like axis. Density, this is the plant population, 1000 to 2500 trees per hectare. Spacing is 4 to 5 meter by 1 to 2 meter, and height is up to 3 meter also. Next one, this is a super spindle. In case of the super spindle system, super high density orchards on weaker rootstocks such as quince. In case of the pear, the people, those who are health conscious, those are using these fruits in a diet, and this pear is a low calorie food. Most of the people, those who want to make the weight loss, those people are exclusively including the pear fruits in the diet also, and which has been established on the rootstock, that is quince, and the densities are more than 4000 trees, and that's why the name is given super spindle. And the planting density, planting distance is less than 3 to 3 meter by 0.8 meter also, and here the height is maintained to 3 meter also. This is the picture skew of the super spindle system. In case of the pear, double ladder system, look at this. The single plant is allowed to grow up to a certain height, and from this portion it has been headed back, and this stem is divided into two parts. This is the one part and this is the second part, and in this way it is called as a double ladder system, and which will helpful for achieving the high ladder densities, and the density is 6000 trees per hectare. You just keep in mind 6000 plants in 1 hectare, and that's why it is called as a ladder system. Next one, VH. Here it is a single row system, and the planting distance is maintained by 3.5 meter by 1.20 meter. Density is maintained 2000 meters, 2000 trees per hectare basis. Tree height is 2 meter, and these trees are open on the V shape of height up to 1.4 meters. This is a Tatora trellis system, which is useful in case of the peach, where 1800 trees are accommodated in a 1 hectare area also. This system is established in Australia in the year of 1973. Another one example I would like to quote here regarding the rootstock, which I have told you that is a rootstock, Velacolumber, Olur, Bapakai. This is about this mango, but here I have quote the example of apple also. You can see cyan variety is standard as well as this per type variety. Rootstock is also given. MM stands for 10. MM stands for 10. MM stands for Malling-Merton series. MM stands for Malling-Merton series. These are the numbers: MM111, M7. M stands for Malling and MM stands for Malling-Merton. In this way, this is the tree size is given. That is a semi-vigorous, dwarf, as well as the dwarf also. And accordingly, the planting distance is given 6 meter by 6 meter, 4.5 meter by 4.5 meter, and the planting density is varying here from square type to standard also. Next one, that is cordon system. It is used in peach cultivation, where the stem is allowed to grow up to a certain height. Then it has been headed back, and two cordons are allowed to develop on both the sides. And in this way, two tier system is developed in case of this cordon system, which is suitable for the peaches. And the plant population is now 2,500 trees per hectare, which has been maintained at the distance of 1 meter by 1 meter also. In this way, this is all about this training. Now, the training means nothing but the development of the framework, development of the structure of the plant, so that it should able to sustain the weight when it will come to the bearing stage. And next one, that is the pruning. Pruning is nothing but the minimizing the branches or maintaining the canopy as per our choice. And different objectives of pruning. First one objective, to regulate the shape and growth of the tree. Second one, to enhance the production and quality of the tree also. In this way, these are the two objectives. But apart from that, another some of the mottos which we can employ, which we can achieve by means of the pruning. First one, that we can restore the shoot to root ratio. That is establishing the tree structure in the main field. And it also is show its influence when the winds are blowing more than 40 to 60 kilometers per hour. Prevent formation of the weak crotch and strong crotch. When the branch is making a wider angle with the main stem, that is a broad crotch. When the branch is making the narrow angle with the main stem, that's called a weak crotch. Regulate the number and location of the main scaffold branches, number of the scaffolds or the main branches. Remove the crossing and interfering branches, intervening branches. Remove the water spouts as well as the suckers which are already from the ground also. We can regulate the growth, vigor, and direction of the shoots also. In which direction we want to allow the shoots also. Open up the tree canopy, which we are seeing in case of the open center system. Regulate the growth and fruiting of the tree. Induce the regular bearing habit. In case of mango, there is a alternate bearing habit, and we didn't get the fruits every year from all plants, and that is nothing but the regular bearing. And if we are following these pruning practices, it is also helpful for the regular bearing also. We can control the size of the plants for high density planting. We can regulate the exposure to the sunlight. We can expose each and every branch and the fruit to the sunlight also. We can increase the size of the fruits. We can facilitate the orchard operation, regulation of old and canal orchard. We can control the diseases, because here we are minimizing the branches, minimizing the size of the branches, and so that there will be no any kind of the ideal condition for establishment of pest diseases. And by pruning, by means of pruning, we can obtain the specific form of the tree. And that's why the management of the canopy architecture is the predominant technology by which huge and unmanageable trees, we can manage them in a small available space, and we can make them more productive. Different types of the pruning are there. Threading back, thinning out, cropping, aging, shearing, mowing, and pruning. These are the types of pruning. Here you can see heading back. It is also called as stubbing or tipping also. You can see here the three figures are shown. In the first figure, it is marked. These are the horizontal marking are there for removal of the terminal portion of the shoot or branch, and afterwards you will found the picture likewise. And when it will grow fully, at that time it will bear the shape of the tree likewise. And in this way, it will reduce the outer canopy growth through the topping as well as aging of the branches. Thinning out means here we are going to minimizing the number of branches, removal of the shoot or the branch at its point of origin, and it encourages the vegetative growth. Remove the interior branches, encouraging the outer growth also, and light intersection is more for the plant canopy also. Here you can see these are the number of branches, and after pruning, such kind of the tree structure we have maintained here. Next one, there is renewal pruning. Renewal, just like if our television plan is going to be expired, mobile plan is going to be expired, we goes for recharge. Likewise, renewal pruning is there, and it is done by means of thinning and heading back. These are the basic methods for pruning. and it will helpful to rejuvenate the old plants by means of removing the old branches, unproductive branches, dead, defunct branches, likewise. Next one, that is a topic, non-selective mechanical heading of the tree tops, hedging, shearing, and mowing. Mechanical heading of shoots has to be done by sides of the trees. Next one, there is a root pruning. Here we go for root pruning. In case of the sweet orange, acid lime, as well as the pomegranate, where we are stirring the soil, at that time, ultimately root pruning is done, and due to which the coiled portion, fibrous portion of the old roots will be gets cut down, and the new roots will be formed, which are white roots, grub roots, and product roots are there. That is the next one. That is a leaf pruning. It is a portion of the leaf to be pruned to regulate the flower in guava, bonsai for size control, and maintain to fruit to leaf ratio is also there. But I have told you, if we are following the pruning practices, then what will be happen, and if we are not following the pruning practices, it is shown here. First one photograph, if we have followed the pruning practices correctly, wisely, and judiciously, you will see first, second, third, and last one, that is a notice strong crotches. You can see here each branch is having somewhat horizontal direction and having a broad crotch, which is the most suitable. And here, in the incorrect method, the pruning is not followed. Here you will find the crowdy position in case of the trees also. In this way, this is the picture if we are following the pruning or not following the pruning also. Removing the weak crotches or the angles, you can see here, we can remove such kind of the weak crotches. And next one, that is the tip pruning of the long branches. If we are following this tip pruning, at that time, the growth of the apical dominance will be eliminated, and it will insisted to grow auxiliary branches likewise. Protective pruning, this is called as polarity. This polarity is done in case of the forest plants. The tree whose stem has been cut off in order to obtain the flush of new shoots. Usually, animals can reach above the height of the horizon. In case of the forest plants, it is done commercially. Next one, regeneration pruning, which is also called as copicing. When we want to go for multiplication of a certain plant species, forest plant species, we have to cut back the tree from the ground level, make a heap of the manures and soil, and cover the stem of the tree, apply the manure, fertilizer, irrigation, and the birds which are available on the stem, those will develop into the shoots, and they will arise likewise. And when and at that time, when they become sizable, at that time we have to remove them along with the root system, and they will develop the individual plantlets. This is called as copicing. Structural pruning of the young trees, in order to develop the strong framework, proper framework structure, we goes to remove the branches. We goes to minimize the number of the branches. This is called as structural pruning of the young trees. Next one, that is nursery pruning. Removal of the vigorous water shoots below the matrix joint for on the stock plant. Matrix joint where the bud is accommodated on the stock plant, or the graft is accommodated on the stock plant. That is called the matrix portion, and that matrix joint below we are removing the different kinds of the shoots, unwanted growth from the layered branch. Next one, commercial prunings. In case of the commercial pruning, we are following deblossoming. Deblossoming in case of mango, we are following the chemicals, and we are minimizing the flowers. Second one, that is the thinning. Third one, that is the desuckering in case of the banana. Dehanding, which is followed in case of banana. Bud pruning, which is followed in case of roses as well as the grapes also. Now, we'll come to the point, that is pruning in bear. This is the in case of pruning, I would like to quote here example. Bear is the crop of arid zone which will bear the fruits on the current season's growth, and that's why bear is pruned every year from 15th of April to 15th of March, and 5 to 6 feet terminal growth is pinched out for allowing the growth to form the word primary branches. These primaries again pinch off, which will develop secondaries, and this secondaries has to be pinch off, which will develop to the tertiaries. And in this way, the structure will be developed in 2 to 3 years, and which will bear the more and more fruits also. In case of the pulsar, it is a crop of the hilly area. Better quality fruits and more yield is obtained by means of the annual pruning, which is followed from December to January, when the plants are dormant. basically the pruning is followed when the plants are in the dormant condition. You always keep in mind 1 to 1.2 meter height from the soil surface is desirable for pruning in case of the falls also. In case of the bear, this bear is to prune every year during February in Tamil Nadu for maximum yield, and at MPKV 15th of April to 15th of May or 1st of April to 1st of May, it is recommended to prune this plant. And in this way, 4 laterals and 4 to 6 sublaterals resulted into the higher yield, which is found in case of Rauri and recommended for commercial cultivation. Amla, in case of Amla at Faizabad, Narendra University of Agriculture and Technology, Faizabad, the Amla is pruned at the intensity of 0%, 25%, 50%, 25%, and it will show increase in the yield as well as girth of the tree by 70%, 75% of pruning also. And the plant spread was maximum by 50% of pruning of the Amla crop. In case of the pomegranate, the pruning, in case of pruning, 2 types of prunings are there. That is heavy pruning and light pruning. In case of grape, heavy pruning is done in the month of April. That is also called as vegetative pruning. And why is it called as vegetative pruning? Because from the separate pruning, we are going to develop the branches or the structure of the tree, and that's why it is called as vegetative pruning. Another one, in the month of October, again the grapes are pruned second time, and this is called as a reproductive pruning, or we are just forming the fruiting zone on which the grape bunches will arise. And in this way, these are the 2 prunings in grape. Especially in case of Maharashtra, grapes are pruned twice. In rest of the northern part of India, it is pruned once, because plant didn't go into the dormancy, and that's why it has been pruned once in northern part of India, whereas it is pruned twice in Maharashtra also. That is October and April. Whereas in case of the pomegranate, the plants has been trained by multi-stem training system. In case of the pomegranate, short hole borers, stem borer are infesting the stem of the tree. If the single stem of the tree is there, the anybody is infested, whole plant goes into the collapse and waste, and farmers are facing the losses. And that's why it is recommended 4 to 5 stems, or which is called as multi-stem training system in case of the pomegranate. And at the same time, the fruits are born on the spurs. Spur is the fruiting zone in case of the pomegranate, and these spurs are having the ability to develop the fruits for 3 to 4 years. And after 4 years onwards, they become senile, they become sour, they become stale, and they will not going to develop the fruits. And that's why this spurs has been removed by means of the light pruning, and hence the light pruning is recommended in case of pomegranate. Instead of light pruning, if we go for heavy pruning through oversight, at that time what will happen? Production of the male flowers will be more and more. It will disturb the carbon nitrogen ratio, C ratio in the plant, and it will insist the plant to produce more number of the male flowers, and ultimately it will influence the yield of the crop also. In case of the fig is also a crop where the yield is obtained from the old branches as well as the new branches. But when we are going to maintain 3 to 4 stems, and for getting the highest yield, at the same time, light to medium pruning is followed in the month of September to October, and taking the help of 500 ppm ethyl. At that time, we will get abundant yield of the fig fruits on the current season's growth, and that's why grapes are pruned every that's why figs are pruned every year in the month of October, 15th of September, 15th of October to 15th of November. Old trees, old branches will also bear the fruits. The number of the fruits will be less as compared to the current season's growth. Now, the high density planting, what I have told you, that is a closer planting than that of recommended distance, and which is recommended 10 meter by 10 meter. Instead of that, we goes for 5 meter by 5 meter, and these are the different kinds of the advantages. We can achieve the potential of the precocious bearing. Precocious bearing means coming to the bearing stage earlier than the normal. High yield per unit area, low labor cost, because all practices are followed intensively. Better orchard management, and we will get the improved fruit quality also. These are the different kinds of disadvantages of the high density planting. which we have seen in the last slide also. And for this high density planting, we can use the polyamoronic rootstock, Varicolumban, Olor, Bapakai, 13-1, 7-1, which are salt resistance. Spread of the trees also less. Canopy area is less by 45% than the other cultivars, and there is a good scope for pruning also. And it is for possibly the short duration crops, that is a banana, pineapple. When you will go for production of the fruit and plantation crops in the fourth semester, we will found this pineapple as well as the cultivation of banana, pair root planting, mid orcharding or hedge root planting system in case of guava also. In case of the mandarin orange, Sandra, the different kinds of the rootstock, that is a rainfall lime rootstock as compared to the vigorous trees, rough lemon. These are some of the disadvantages of this high density planting. This is the plant population per hectare basis, and accordingly the name is given. That is a low high density, moderate high density, ultra high density, and super high density. In case of the super high density, plant population is more than 4,000. This is the system which I have told you earlier. Pineapple, what I have told you, this is the traditional system, and in case of the high density, the plant population is 63,758, and from which we are getting 70 to 80 tons per hectare. Conventionally, we are getting only 20 tons per hectare basis. In case of banana, high density planting, 170 tons of the yield is obtained per hectare basis, whereas traditionally we get 40 to 50 tons per hectare only. Now, in case of guava, we may go for high density planting, and when you go to the orchards nowadays, every farmer is asking for the guava plants. He's not looking into the matter whether it is a genuine prototype plants we are getting from a reliable source. He just in need of the plants. He doesn't bother about the varieties as well as the prototype of the plants. That's why I told you. I would like to aware all of you, when you go to purchase plants, any kind of the fruit plants. Fruit plants are perennial, and that's why we should have to take care before planting. It should be purchased from the authentic source, reliable source, and it should be planted. Even though a small mistake has been made at the time of the establishment of orchard, it will become large one, and we could not rectify unless until we are not going to expel the orchard also. These are the number of plants of guava. 833 to 27,000 plants will be accommodated in 1 hectare basis. This technique has been developed at Central Institute for Subtropical Horticulture, located at Lucknow. It is ICAR directed, where the density of the guava is maintained 3 meter by 6 meter also in case of Allahabad Sapeda. Shoot pruning is there. Here you can see in first one photograph A, where the pruning for the initiation of the new shoots, and that's why look at here. This is the main branch which has been cut off here, and due to which these are the shoots which are arising. Afterwards, in case of the next one, re-pruning, these shoots they are allowed to develop, and again they have to cut back 50%, so that again it is going to develop the secondary also. Means this is the main stem, these are the primaries, these are secondaries, and in this way they are going to develop the tertiaries also. High density planting, we may go for planting 3 meter by 1.5 meter or 3 meter by 3 meter distance. We have to allow to grow them as such, and when it will reach to the height of 70 centimeter, at that time we have to prune them 50% after 1 to 2 months of planting, and afterwards new shoots will be emerge from the cut point, and in this way whatever the shoots will be arise out of this, only 3 to 4 shoots should be retained, kept, and the rest of the shoots should be removed, and these shoots again pruned after 3 to 4 months, and again shoots will be emerged just below the cutback portion, and in this way new shoots will be arise. Again, further pruning is to be followed 3 to 4 months after pruning. Means in this way, near about few times pruning is to be followed, and in this way 1 year is going to be complete, 4 months interval. And in the second year, we have to shoot the prunes in the month of January, February for rainy season fruiting, and we may go for shoot pruning in the month of May, June for winter season fruiting is also there. In this way, this pruning is continued, shoot pruning is continued 50% on every tree to maintain the shape and size of the guava also. Mid orchard, it is a super intensive system. one of the most efficient modern system of particularly irrespective of the low demand of the labors. Central Institute of Subtropical Horticulture, Lucknow, has developed this method of orcharding. Dr. Gaur Singh was a miracle man who have developed this technique in case of guava, where the planting distance is 2 meters from root to row and 1 meter from plant to plant, and it is coupled with the regular topping as well as the hedging. If we are going to missing regular or topping or hedging, it will goes into the waste. We cannot establish the period orchard system. And on an average, 12.5 tons fruits are obtained in the first year. Traditionally, we will get the fruits 3 to 4 year onwards. In case of the mid orcharding, field planting is to be done at the distance of 2 meters from root to row and 1 meter from plant to plant. In this way, in 1 hectare area, 5,000 plants will be accommodated. Top of the tree at the height 40 centimeters from the ground level, 1 to 2 months after prune, so that new shoots will be arise. And these new shoots again we have to allow to grow. And after 3 to 4 months, again we have to prune them. In this way, it should be continued up to 1 year. And further, the prune shoots will initiate the shoots and start the flowering. And in this way, continuous pruning and flowering is to done. For desired tree shoots, we may go 3 times in a year. If we goes for pruning in the month of May, June, second year onwards, fruit will be obtained in the December, February. If we goes for pruning in the month of September, October, fruit will be available from March to April. And if we goes for pruning in the month of January, February, we'll get the fruits in the month of July to September. And in this way, continuous shoot pruning is done every year 50%. And after 4 to 5 years, maintain the tree shape and sizes. And after 5 years onwards, back pruning is to done 50% removal of the entire portion of the tree. And this is nothing but the mode of orcharding also. I will show you the photographs. This is the first one photograph, planting distance to 1 meter. The second photograph, heading back at the height of 30 to 40 centimeter. New growth after pruning. This is the third photograph. Fourth one, growth after second pruning. Fifth photograph, growth after third pruning, and flowering after third pruning. In this way, this is the variation, step by step variation is obtained. In the first year, you can see this yield, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. But after fifth year onwards, we have to just back pruning after every year, likewise. And after back pruning, the trees will look like this one. And it will bear the shoots likewise. More growth will happen, and some of the shoots, only important shoots has to be retained, and more shoots has to be removed. And in this way, after back pruning, this is the tree structure is found. And we have to apply the fertilizers every year as per the dose, but it should be increased proportionally after 5 years of age. And after 5 years, 1300 grams of urea, 1875 grams of SSP, and 500 grams of potash has to be applied. Why I am telling you all these things? Only training and pruning is not important. At the same time, when we are retaining the appropriate number of shoots at that time, it should be assisted, it should be accompanied with appropriate food also. And that's why fertilizer is to be applied in such a way. This is the comparison is to be shown here. Traditional system after 2 years, and here we'll get after first year. Production overall 12 to 20 tons, here 30 to 50 tons. Easy to manage due to small tree size or small stature of the tree. Minimum labors are required. Reduced cost of production. Harvesting is very easy, and quality small canopy structure encourages swirling of air, circulation of air. Sunlight will get exposed to the each and every part of the guava, and so that conversion of starch into the sugar, color retention is also good. And that's why meadow orchard system proved itself best. Look at this. This is the system of planting photographs. In this way, the row is developed, which is having the minimum distance from plant to plant and more distance from row to row. And that's what is called as a hedge row system. Look at this. In this way, this is all about this canopy management in case of fruit class. I have taken absurdly little bit looking towards the availability of the time, and organizers have given me an opportunity to conduct your class, that is a canopy management. And finally, I would like to say, if the canopy is better, we can harvest the fruits in a better way. Thank you, sir. If anybody is having any doubt, let me ask. I will try to clarify your doubts also.
Anybody have any doubts?
I hope, sir, nobody is going to be asked, but it's my humble request to all of you, especially the students who are studying in the first semester. They do ask, because unless and until they are not trying to come forward and show the courage to ask the question to your teachers, or you cannot clarify your doubts. And finally, it will helpful to develop your personality in multidimensional ways.
Yes, everybody, anybody?
Anybody else? Don't hesitate, don't shy, come forward. Unless and until you are not responding, this class will be a one way. Otherwise, I would like to make it more.
Okay, sir. I think nobody have any doubts. Okay, thank you, Patil sir, for giving time.
Stops.
Giving very nice lecture to our students. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm welcome to Dr. Prashant Bodke, sir. He's head Department of Agronomy at Dr. Balasaheb Sawant Kokan Krishi Vidyapit, Dapoli. So, hey, friends, before that, the Dr. Prashant Bodke, sir, is working, is a part of our university. So, I am welcome to Dr. Prashant Bodke, sir. And thanks to giving time in your busy schedule to give a lecture to our students. Sir, please continue now. हॅलो
वेलकम सर है ना ट्रॅव्हलिंग मध्ये ओके
सर आवाज नाही येते तुमचा बोडके सर नाही येते सर आवाज नाही येते सर लॅपटॉपने कनेक्ट आहेत का ओके सर हेडफोन काढला तरी जाऊन ओके सर आवाज नाही येतो ओके सर ओके सर हॅलो सर ऑडिओ नाही येते सर ऑडिओला तिथे जाऊन सेटिंग चेक करून घ्या. मायक्रोफोन सिलेक्ट करावा लागेल तिथे.
हॅलो हॅलो आवाज येतोय.
येस सर आवाज येतोय आवाज येतोय.
आता मी काय करतो दुसरीकडनं तुम्हाला स्क्रीन शेअर करतो याच्यावरनं
ओके ओके सर जस्ट मिनिट.
आणि मी तिकडनं तुम्हाला बाकी ऑडिओवरनं याच्यावरनं बोलतो. ठीक आहे.
ओके सर ओके सर.
स्क्रीन दिसते आता.
यस सर यस सर.
ठीक आहे. ओके
ओके सर.
चलो मला वाटतं सर दीज आर ऑल JRF स्टुडंट्स.
No, they are going to prepare for JRF also. Some
Yeah, that
people
means eventually
are.
they are appearing for the JRF, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good. I think first of all I would like to see you can see the faces of all the participants. Can you switch on your videos?
Yes, students, kindly switch on your videos. Students, switch on your videos.
Because unless and until it is an interaction between the face to face, it is quite difficult to interact with each other.
Yes, yes.
What the first principle of, you can say, the any education or teaching methodology. Hi, hello, Patil Archana, Yash Patil, Chakraspal Wagh, Aniket Patil, Survesh Sunone, Chaudhary, Ruman Matamboi, Nikita Pawar, Nisarga Jain, Payal Wake, सायली मोरकर, राहुल पुलाटे, अक्षय उंडे, सोनवणे प्रेरणा, वरद पाटील, अभिषेक पाटील, अक्षय उंडे, चैतन्य शिरसाट. Are you all there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kindly give me
Yes,
at least
sir.
voice, please. Come on. It's great to see you, all of you, because I was also the part of MPKV Rahuri. Still, I am a part of the MPKV Rahuri and serving at the DBSKKV Dapoli. That's like that's great. Everybody is now feeling great at home, or maybe at your hostels, maybe. So, friends, thank you. Now, you please kindly see that whenever you want, you can interrupt me, or you can start any if you want to discussions over there. Or you can do it later on also, which is comfortable to both of us. We can see that how best we can do it. So, dear friends, you always been seeing that in agronomy, if you go, there are a number of courses are there, but amongst them, there is organic farming is there. And in organic farming, we always see that whenever we say that organic, at least we are giving for the something which is not, you can say, the use of any chemicals, and we are giving this agriculture farming so that we can maintain our lands or maybe soil for the next generation or for the future, you can say, the farmers. So in both the things, we can see that we are taking care of all our motherland. But that time, as you see that our population, we can't consider over there. And majorly because of that one, we say that at least we can get something to eat. So for those who are having the largest areas, or maybe they can afford the areas, they can go for this one, they should go. But on the other hand, now in yesterday's Modi Prime Minister has already mentioned that there is a natural farming has to go on large scale, and we are going to add one of the course or restructuring of that syllabus, separate the course on natural farming in a large scale now. And we're going to introduce you in the next couple of the months, or maybe from the next year itself also. It's going on very large the basis. So for that purpose, if you go for any organic farming, everybody says, okay, I got this much of kg of this one, this much of kg of this one. But in my point of view, the population which we are increasing day by day, if you look at the India's today's situation, that if you have the 328.7 million hectares land, and literally the agricultural land is only 182.46 land. So almost half of the land is not cultivable. That means in forest areas, Mrs. Tree crops and degraded lands, or so many things are there. Even among the agricultural lands, some of the lands are, you can say that it is not been able to cultivate because of some other reasons over there. So India, we have the 70.6% of the total world's human population, having 15% livestock, and we don't have much water. We have only 4.2% of the world's water available. So 2.2% of the world's area we have, and 4.2% of the world's water, and we have to feed 17.6%. Lastly, we're going to say that it is going to increase up to 25% of the total world's population.
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah,
Sir,
sure.
your slide is not moving.
Not moving?
Not moving. I
Now?
think so.
No?
You now stop sharing and then again share, and in that
Fine.
you choose the PowerPoint view.
Okay, no problem. I'll do it again. Is it okay now?
Yes, but when you go for the slideshow, that time that was not seen here.
Now it's moving?
No, sir. No, sir.
Oh my God. So shall I go for without this one? This mode is available now, this one?
Yes, sir. This mode is
Okay. So instead of slides, there is a slide presentation. I'll go with the same only. Is it visible, dear friends?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
If you look at to this one, we have only land 70.6% of the total population. That is about 20 to 25% population. We're going to rise it by 2030 or 2050, and we have the only 4.2% of the world's water, and 4.2% of the water and 2.4% of the world area. So looking to this constraint, or maybe you can say the crunch of this total cracks of this total, you can say the situation, we are in a position to go for only for the some the high productivity farming. And that high productivity farming we are already can say the utilized or maybe used in 1960s and 65s. Go for the dwarfism, go for, you can say, the dwarfing the varieties, or having the varieties having the highly responsible for water and nutrients and everything, highly chemical fertilizers we can use it. But the other thing is that when we'll go for that one, and we have to feed the population, we have to leave the population, we have to make our population save, we have to save our population. But this is what we can say, the in food basket, we can see that there is largely, we have increased the production because of that one. It's a large sector. Food can increase from the independent 1950s by 5 times, milk by 8.5 times, eggs by 43%, fish by 13%. And we can see that amongst the total world's population, almost 15 to 20% of the, you can say, the contribution is done by for the nutrient food by our India. And we are also exporting now because of previously we were importing, now we are the exporting countries. We've all been aware of that one. So you can see that number of cereals and pulses are there. These are, and if you look at the feeding the billions forever, that is what I am telling you, the population is that by 2050, world population grows by 9.2 billion and growth is by 37%. So we have to increase the food production, must increase by more than 70%, and it should be sustainable. The word is very important. Kindly see that, we remember that one. It has to be sustainable way. We have targeted with some of the chemical fertilizers and everything, but looking to our situation in Indian agriculture, the population or agriculture can say dependent population, you can see the holding and operating area. If you can see that the largest sector, that is blue and orange color, you can see that over here, blue and orange color. Lastly, that is 90% of the population is small and medium. You can say the growers are there. Those are in the land less than 2 hectares or maybe the 1 hectare area. it is decreasing on a greater extent. That means we are depleting that one because of the population is increasing, dividing these things. Still previously it was 2.28, now it has gone to 1.03. The population which is having large and small and medium sector and having the such you can say the burden on our land, we have to going for the high intensive cropping pattern or maybe the intensive cropping systems over there. But if you look at the climate change and Indian agriculture, which is the monsoon dependent and the rainfall dependent, it is monsoon dependent, largely country with the diverse climate and diverse season crops and farming system, having the high monsoon dependency, there is a close link between the climate and water resources. So 2/3 area is rain dependent. So that's why we have to go for the rainfed agriculture. That one, you see that the covers of this 60%, that is 18 million hectares of that net zone area, which is contributing more than 40% of the food grain production. Why I'm telling you this data? Because if we go further in seeing that what is organic farming relates to what, because my title is different one. What is the other titles are there? It's not the normal organic farming. I say that it's the commercial organic farming, and I have to correlate these things with that one because our you can say the area is more than you can say contributing to the GDP. That is 87% of the core cereals, 85% of the pulses, 72% of the oilseeds, and 64% of the cotton and 46% of the rice is coming from the rain-fed area only. So we are largely dependent on the rain, and we have the limited resources. That is not more than 18 or 20% we can go for the irrigation. So that's why we have to go for. And the other part is that sustainability is again in our bag because we have to give the land or the nutrient or the best quality of the soil to the next generation. That's why the sustainable agriculture is the production of food, fiber, or other plant or animal products using farming techniques that protect the environment, public health, human communities, and animal welfare. So that means everything has to be taken into consideration, and then we have to move ahead. What is the organic farming? But the back, you can say there are you can say other effects has been observed due to green revolution. So everybody knows that high production is that is overcoming of the food crisis, self-sufficiency or food grain maybe, but that is not sustainable because the productivity has gone down. The factor productivity has gone down to a large extent since 1960s and 65, which has increased doubled over there. But now we are targeting, we have to double the food grain production of the country by saying that we're using the different techniques over there. So why it is not sustainable? Because there is stagnation or fall in the productivity, declining in the soil product fertility, salinity problems, lowering of water table, and environmental pollutions also there. So this is what has happened because of this, you can say the high productivity farming, or you can say the green revolutions, you can say technologies over there. So positive side of the green revolution is what that it is increased the country's food production. It gives us the pride to us that we have already attained the self-sufficiency. We have come from the food deficit to the food surplus country now, and we are exporting that of the food products and get the higher income share over there. But in case of the other side, you can say coin has the two sides. The other side of the coin is that negative side of the green revolution, that is reduction in natural fertility of the soil because we are adding the chemical fertilizers over there. So there is a natural fertility has declined. Destruction of the soil structure, erosion and soil losses because we are doing the tillage or tillage practices. Now we are converting it to the conservation agriculture, but erosion and soil losses are there, killing of beneficial microbes and insects. So groundwater pollution and the depletion is there. So groundwater has gone down much more than the 300, 400, 500 feet. You can see that the bore wells are going too down. So atmospheric pollution has also increased, soil acidification, chemical burns are there, and mineral depletion because in now our we can say soils, we can say the number of mineral or micronutrients deficiency has been occurred. Previously it was reported in 1970s or 75s, it's only the boron, but now almost more than 12 micronutrients are, you can say that these are deficient in various types of the soils in the country. So that micronutrient depletion is too much. So country needs that production to keep pace with the population because we want to feed the population. We don't kill the population because of the food. So we have to keep the pace with the population. More from less, and less water is there because you have seen that there is only 4.2% water, and again that water also you can say that diluted or maybe degraded by so many things which has not been utilized properly. Then mitigate the climate change and maintain the soil health also there. So ensuring the quality without residues. So challenges for us, there is deteriorating soil health and fertility due to imbalanced nutrient application. So that has to be you can say the restructured or reassisted over there. So depleting the natural resources, we have to replenish that one or refresh that one, that natural resources. Then environmental degradation is there, deteriorating quality of the produce, growing cost of diminishing returns in agriculture, and loss of biodiversity. Ultimately, the biodiversity is endangered because we are going for the monocropping, or say the major crops of the region, maybe soybean is there in large sector, maybe the cotton in large sector. And if there is any problem arises, naturally it will going to be affect the directly the pest or disease problem to country or maybe to the region itself. So soil health for the future, we have to increase the quality of the soil. Unless there is a good quality of the soil, you can't go for the further giving the good yields. The imbalanced fertilizer use and low emphasis on organic sources affected the soil health because we are not using the nutrient balance, NPK balance in the proper way. Because actually the NPK ratio should be 4:2:1, but our ratio in today's situation is 8:2.7:1. So almost a higher use of the nitrogen fertilizers or nitrogen we are doing, and which is adding something, you can say, the negative impact on the soil. So soil organic carbon and soil life badly is affected. So resulting into emerging deficiencies. You can see over there, the deficiencies are there. Literally in 2025, you will get the number of micronutrient deficiencies will be there. So partial productivity, factor productivity is declining and the fertilizer use is increasing. Even though we are increasing the fertilizer, because in 1970s, when we are using this much of the fertilizers in kg grains, even you can get the productivity over there with the minimum fertilizers. So even we are applying this one high fertilizers over there in pink line, the fertilizer productivity has declined to a greater extent. So as amount of the fertilizer applying, the productivity has not been appealing to us. So in this all background, we have to see that how best we can go for sustainable, how best we can go for getting matching the, you can say, targeted of our productivity targets over there and feed the population and reducing the micronutrient deficiency and recovering all our soils to reback again in a good quality manner. So for that purpose, naturally we can see that there is only another options which we have in our you can say this science, because we have to go for the science. So organic farming is the concern. There is soil health management, pest management, disease management, weed management, respective varieties are there, feed management, waste management, human health, environment. So that is organic farming is a system. Now we have to go for that one, with avoids largely or excludes the use of the synthetic inputs such as the fertilizer, which we have already experienced in our previous agriculture, that is we call it as a green revolution. Then pesticide, hormones, feeds, and additives, and to maximize the extent feasible rely upon crop rotations, crop residues, and even manures, of farm organic waste, mineral grade rocks, additives, and biological systems of nutrient mobilization and plant protection. So this is what you can see, the one of the definition has been given by us to see that how best we can utilize all the resources which is available in a situation. So for that purpose, organic farming has its 4 important principles over there. First principle of organic farming is that's why it is a need of organic farming, but how we have to go for the commercial organic farming, we can see that one. So organic farming has the basic 4 principles. There's a principles of health. Health is not merely, we call it as a soil health, but it is the health of the animal. It is the health of the, you can say, the environment. It is the health of the person, those who are engaged, that is farmers' health, or maybe the stakeholders' health, and health of the consumer also. So when we are thinking any application into the system or maybe organic farming, we have to see that how best we can giving it to our customer also. So our last end user. So that is the principle of health decides the whole system from the, you can say, soil ultimately to the end user, the health should be in a good quality. So that is what the principle of health. Then principle of ecology, everybody has seen that because of the green revolution, the biodiversity is endangered, or maybe you can say that reducing too much. So in our ecology also, some of the factors, that is because of the cutting of the forest, or maybe the cutting of so many forest areas also, that animal doesn't get a survival and they are coming into our agriculture. For example, the elephants are encroaching to our agricultural lands. Then you can say rhinoceroses are there in Northeast. Then the pigs are in our farm over there. Now the other things that they are destroying each and every, you can say, the agriculture. And we are facing so much of the problems over there. So that's why because of this, you can say, destructions, or maybe natural ecosystem has not been maintained, or biodiversity has not maintained, the ecology is in danger. So second principle is that we have to see that we have to maintain the ecology, that is ecological system or ecological system, ecosystem of that region. The third principle is that the principle of fairness. Fairness means it's not only the fair you can telling that what is you are doing, but it's a principle of fairness that whenever the inputs are coming to you, whenever whatever the inputs you are using, it should be it should be available in information to the any end user. You can it's called as a transparent, you can say this procedure, that what you are using, it has to be known by the particular, you can say the end user. For example, nowadays so many, you can say the farmers producing organizations or maybe in country level, they are using the QR codes, which QR codes they are specially for that one, which can give the information of that farmer who has produced that particular as a crop, and what is the chemicals he has used, what are the different methodology he has used, what is the area is there, from where the product has come, what is the educational background of that family. So all the things are been there. That fairness in telling that what we are doing. Secondly, input production also, those who are being supplying the input, they should have the fairness over there. Thirdly, when you are going to the market, please see that you don't cheat the stakeholders. Don't because give the unfair material to the because end user or the customer, so that they won't believe on next time for that it is organic. So now the certification has come into the force that we have to go for the certification. But at the same time, we are having saying that the fairness should be there from the production end to the customer end also, and for getting any inputs to your farm from that organic material. So all should be in the fair principle. Third principle is the principle of fairness. And lastly, the principle of care. Care means is not only to take care of the soil, it is to take care of your, you can say the animals, take care of your own, because the family, that is farmer's family, then take care of all your stakeholders, between those who are engaged in that farm, or maybe those who are after production also, that customer should be, we have to take care of that customer, how he will not be get, you can say, any chemical residues in that particular produce, so that their family will be get safer. So such type of the basic four principles which are we are taking into consideration by going for the organic farming. So amongst these, after these principles, we have to see that how many farmings are there, different forms of organic agriculture. Hello? Hello?
Yes,
Is it audible?
yes, sir.
Okay, any question till now? Shall I go ahead?
No, sir.
Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So there are different forms of organic agriculture. Then natural farming, which we are seeing that, which is totally eliminates all the components of the modern farming. That we don't have to use any machineries. We don't have to go for any chemicals. We don't have to go for any hybrid type of the varieties over there. So naturally, whatever is available, you have to use it and use and produce whatever you have with us. Then biodynamic agriculture, which is very, you can say the important one, because in Vedas, in Rig Vedas or maybe Yajur Vedas, we have some literature is there how to grow the agriculture based on the nakshatras. There are different nakshatras, you know, in monsoon season, it starts in total over, there are 36 or 37 nakshatras are there. And based on that, each nakshatras, or in Vedas, we call it as some biodynamic calendar has been prepared. And that biodynamic calendar is used for, you can say, the cultivation, because at that particular time, you have to go for the sowing. Because of that one, there won't be any pest problems will be there. There won't be any attack will be there. Then the crop will be given the better quality of the results. For example, I will telling you afterwards, because why we are going for the sowing of the turmeric or maybe ginger, or maybe you can say the some tuber crops in after the our Gudi Padwa. That why? Because after that one only it is going to be get a better quality into your crops or food crops. That's why this is based on Vedas, but we have kept it as a, that is a time of sowing. We call it as a time of sowing, right? So this is what the biodynamic agriculture is there. Then Rushi Krushi is there, where we can go for the three important, this one, Sanskar is there, Bija Sanskar, that is we are treating the Bija with some organic material or maybe some with the meditation over there. Then Bhumi Samskar, we are treating the soil with that one. And Padapa Samskar means that is a spraying on the plants, whatever the organic material, maybe the cow urine are there, Panchagavya is there, so many things are there that we are using it for the plants and getting the good crop, the yield, what this is. It is called as a Rushi Krushi. Then Nashako farming is one of the things that which is practically used in so many kinds of commercial agriculture also. For example, in case of the grapes, Dabolkar, sir has already given that the Prayog Parivar concept was there. So they have having the pruning technologies there, because they say that based on the amount of the produce you require, there should be the canopy, the food producing industries, that means the plant canopies is there. The amount of canopy or the area of the canopy is decides how much product we have to want for that particular bunch or particular produce. For example, in case of the grapes, they are having the 1 square meter area, they have the more than 20 or 22 leaves are there, should be there, so that these leaves will going to produce a half kg of the bunch, good quality bunch for you. So based on that one, we are managing the plants or managing the canopy, managing the branches, managing the leaves. So that is called as a nashuko. That is, we are cutting technology or pruning technology there. The recycling of the farm waste, Amruta Pani, they are providing that one. And with that, Amruta Pani promises to record assured yields and the mathematical precision by understanding the plant's geometry. We are managing the plant's geometry. Then the Agnihotra, you are knowing that by using that Homa technology, Homa farming, that is in the morning and the evening sunset, we are having some mantras, Agnihotra mantra, and it's basic the home fire technique from the Vedic process again. And they say that because of that meditation and this the ash which has been available from that mantra, that is Agnihotra, that ash they are spraying, and it is having so much of the microbes or quality over there, so that they can increase your quality of the soil also. So that is also been one of the farming in agriculture. Then Panchagavya is that the Panchagavya, Gavya means cow. So from the cow, the 5 products which is available, maybe the milk is there, curd we are preparing, then ghee we are preparing, then cow dung is there, and cow urine. All these 5 products which are coming from the cow, because cow is, we can say, the god for us. Because having the 33 million gods are living into the cow's stomach. And that's why whatever it's coming from them, it is, we call it as a very holy. And because of that one, the Panchagavya, we are using it in the agriculture for getting the production or quality production. So this is all, you can say, that some of the organic farming technologies or different forms are there. So all these are related to that subsistence only. Subsistence means they can feed for themselves at least. If you go for the commercial, to work on this principle, and if you go without any other material which we are thinking of, nothing will going to be get it from that one. That's why in organic farming, basically at the earlier 4 or 5 years, we don't expect much of the yield. So yields are declining, and after recovering the soil organic carbon or maybe soil organic pool, we say that it will going to be rise the productivity of the crop afterwards. So this is what we call as a gestation period. Somebody, if you have, they can go for that one, but still on a large scale, it is quite, you can say, the point of concern. So organic farming versus natural farming, if you can go that, natural farming is totally eliminates all the components of modern farming. But in organic farming, scientific farming totally excludes the elements of modern farming. It does not totally include, it includes, because in organic farming, we use the cow dung with using the vermicompost or like other things are there. And we are building the soil, because the program, that is the building of the soil quality, increasing the application or spraying with the organic material from the plant, you can say the extrudates are there. Some chemicals were used, biochemicals like the cow urine, vermi wash we are using for spraying on the plants over there. Dashaparani Arka we have prepared. Then some of the amyl, vimil, I'll show you, tell you in the next slides also there. But in case of the natural farming, it indicates a do nothing approach. Whatever it may be available, we have to only sow elements, all the farming, no cultivation, no chemical fertilizer, no weeding, no plant protection. But in case of the organic farming, because it's a scientific base over there, the principal elements are maintaining a living soil through minimum tillage. That we have to require maybe the minimum tillage or conservation agriculture we are doing. Secondly, making available all essential nutrients through organic means, maybe through FYM, maybe through vermicompost, maybe some another organic green manures, or maybe concentrated organic manures over there from the cakes or oil cake, de-oiled cakes are there. So these are we are using for the nutrition to the soil. That means nutrition has to be get maintained. Third is a weed control with the non-chemical alternatives. Maybe mulching technology we are using, maybe some mechanical weed is doing, maybe hand weeding we are doing. So weed control is one of the basic principle of that organic farming, and we are doing it some means over there. But in case of our natural farming, they don't do anything. And lastly, that is biological pest control, which is very important. because the pest is one of the, you can say the important factor which has depleting your yield by more than 30 to 40%. So that's why biologically we are controlling with some bioagents or maybe some fungi or maybe some another, you can say the naturally occurring some plant extruders over there, you can say the extracts over there that we are using it. So important aspects of organic ecosystem is that focus on multiple communities. That means not we have to depend on one or two, but you have multiple communities we have to take into consideration. Like in integrated farming system approach, that we have to take into consider the agriculture, agronomic part, we have to take the horticulture, we have to take the animal, we have to take the processing, we have to take the marketing, all the things should be there. Such a things over there, we have to take all the biological material available, maybe with the various resources for nutrition, for plant protection, for plant growth, or maybe for anything which is required as a seed, we have to take into consideration. So focus on the multiple commodities. Primarily, second is that primarily on farm sufficiency orientation and associated with the soil fertility buildup. Survatila, in the beginning, you have to go for the farm sufficiency, maybe what is required. Then associated with the soil fertility, you have to build up first without deteriorating the yield, without declining the yield, we have to go for that. And regards for environmental balance, that is whatever we are depleting from the soil, we have to again sow that one, or we can say reboost again with the some organic material, refill that one, we call it as refill one with the organic other material, so that there won't be any you can say the stress, or there won't be any limiting factor into the soil, so that whatever we are sowing in organic farming, it will going to get a better you can say the vegetative growth or maybe the yield. Avoid or neglect of rainfed areas and local resources. Then first is that due value for local farmers knowledge is given. ITKs are very, very important over in every situation. But those ITKs which has been already documented over there, but some of the ITKs are there. So for example, in case of the control of the pigs, in case of your farm, somebody says that if you put the red color bottle, then generally that is red colored water filled with some chemical only. And if you put it in the soil, there is a plastic bottles, transparent water, the pigs or maybe the dogs maybe can be avoided. So this can be the local technology, but somebody will get the benefit of that one. Then avoidance of overemphasis on the station-based research, because we don't have to depend. We have to go for the on-farm researchers over there. So that's why this is the important aspects of the organic ecosystem. And how to developing the ecosystem of organic farming, this is dependence. We can say that. Then start the mixed cropping, intercropping, integrated crop livestock production. Then plant has to be hedges or trees over there. Then there's different types of the canopies we have to maintain, and all the habitat or maybe the system we have to maintain, because naturally when it starts from the anthropods, it has to be reached to the big animals over there. So organic material is required, and when they can be recycled again. Everything which is available in the nature. So that's why this ecosystem has to be very important to maintain. But looking to this one, the objectives, what are the different objectives we have to go for organic farming? First objective is that produce the food with a higher nutritional quality. Why we are doing it? To make the better quality, because nowadays we say that the nutrition into the food has declining or reducing, and it is not giving the total nutrition to human body. So that's why we have to grow with the organic farming, because in organics we are using some all minerals also there, which is available in the organic material. So that food is we are supplying, that is to produce the food with the higher nutritional quality. Then second is that work with the natural system. There won't be any chemical. So that's why it is only related with the nature, which is available in the nature, which is biodegradable. We are using it for the natural system. Then maintain and increase the soil fertility. As we have already mentioned that one, we are maintaining the soil fertility. Use of renewable resources as far as possible. For example, use of solar energy, for using the wind energy, for using some another energies over there, so that there will be no loss of energy. So that's why use of renewable resources as far as possible. Then avoid pollution. As we're using the natural material or organic material, which is available in nature, it generally avoids the pollution. It doesn't include maybe the plastics also, but somehow we are using it for that. They should not include any, the burning should not be there. There won't be any another chemical spraying, so that the pollution will be there. So avoid the pollution. Sixth one is the wider social and ecological impact of farming system. The society should get the benefit of that one. Society should get the, you can say, the confidence with that one. That is, at least this is very important for their family, very important for the region, very important for their country, and for the ultimately the end user, that is a customer. So that's why this is very important that socially and that farmers or maybe the community has to be trained that this is what the social impact will be there with that organic farming. Then allow satisfaction to agriculture producer. Ultimately, from the production, the last one is that the satisfaction to agriculture producer also, that whatever I am producing today is good for the country, good for the family, good for, you can say, anybody, those who are using it. So this is what the objectives behind that are. But the agriculture has based, the organic farming has based on the four principles, four core pillars of the organic farming. That is, first is the organic standards. Still in our, you can say, the Indian agriculture, the organic standards has somewhat, you can say, the lacking over there, because so many chemicals are available in the market which doesn't have, you can say, the registrations are there, which doesn't have any, you can say, standard. For example, if you go for the vermicompost itself, but there is no any standard over how much nutrient should be there, NPK content. Like in case of the Sufla, that is 1990 is the standard one, and you will get it that one if you can analyze it. But in case of the organic standards, if you get the vermicompost from one area or vermicompost from the other area, they are having the different materials and there won't be any standards over there. Even for the plant protection, so many organic material is available, but we don't know what is the content. For example, trichoderma is what is the microbial load, the fungi load over there. So all these things we have to take into consider, that there should be organic standards, and it is going on. Now the government is taking very seriously, and they are preparing some standard material for that one. How go for that rules and regulations, and so that there will be standards will be get fixed, so that farmers will not be get cheated from that, or maybe doesn't get the spurious material. Then technology packages. Now universities or ICR has already developed so much packages for technology, because simply by adding the vermicompost, you will does not survive because of the production. But it needs that has to be technology with that, from the sowing to harvesting, the complete packages should be there. And now the university has much of the crops are there, which has already developed the packages. Certification and regulatory mechanism, as I already mentioned, that for getting the, you can say, the good quality material, or maybe the fair quality material over there, certification is necessary, even for your production also, the produce also, and even for the inputs which you are purchasing for the organic farming. And lastly but not least, the market network. Unless and until there is a proper quality network is there, we don't go for any type of organic farming. So market network is very, very important for any material, but especially for organic farming, because in organic farming, we prefer that it should have the premium prices. And who will going to prefer the premium prices? As you already know that whenever you go into the market, there are two types of tomatoes are there. And if you want to purchase that one is organic farming and one is non-organic farming, or maybe the chemical farming. But the rate of chemical farming is 5 rupees per kg. And for organic farming, if it has been, can say, the 25 rupees per kg, nobody will going to purchase my tomato, because they say that we don't have any belief over there. So there we can say the authenticated or maybe certified market networks, that's blockchain we have to develop, or maybe the value additions we have to taken up into the system, so that you will get the better market or better prices over there. That is called as the premium prices. So which are the different contributors in the organic farming? Honeybee is one of the important, because he's many consider it is a social animal. So if honeybee will dies and finish up on the earth, so on the next, you can say, the 1 or 2 years, all the world will be going to be get vanished. There won't be any population over there, human population. So how much these are honeybees are important, and for this organic farming, because largely many crops that are important to human life in the country, that is dependent on honeybees for pollination. So that's why pollination is important to more than 25,000 plant species, not only 25,000. So beehive produce, from beehives, we have harvest the honey, bee wax, other products, everything is there. But largely more than 25,000 plant species has to be get pollinated by the honeybee. And that's why we're putting the honeybee as an important of bees for sustaining the life on earth. So this has to be included. Secondly, organic carbon. If you want to go by the nutrition, we have to enrich that one. Then glycidia or green manures, we have to put it on the hedges or rows, so that it can stop the heavy winds over there, loss of transpiration also there, and it can add the, you can say, the organic material to that the nearby areas, so that after, you can say, the by ex situ management or in situ management, but that can be possible, like in glycidia or suba on the bunds over there. Then in case of the sugar cane also, we can say that if you take the intercrop like green gram, so in the wider rows of the sugar cane, you can go for this type of the pulse crop. It can add the, you can say the nitrogenous, you can say, quantity, or maybe the green, you can say manure over there, so that you will get the better quality, you can soil over there. Then glyceria mulching is also we can do it. In crop residue management, we have to, in case of the cotton, we are putting the same residues after the first harvest as it is for the enriching the organic matter. And surface cover is very important, because unless and until it has been covered with any mulch, there won't be any, because this adds the organic matter, but it can reduce the evaporation losses, that is moisture losses. It can increase the microbial load into the soil. It can, you can say, the reduce the wind erosion also there, because largely, and also the soil erosion can be monitored with this surface cover. So surface cover is one of the important factor in organic farming. You don't have to keep the soil open. It has to be get covered with something. For nutrient management, we can see that there are a lot of, you can say, the nutrient fixtures are available: black gram, chickpea, cluster bean, cowpea, and how much kgs they are feeding and they are adding into the soil, you know that. So you have to add much of the pulses as and when possible into that organic agriculture. In case of the biological pest control, I won't go in detail of that one, but this is mostly because I'm not an expert of that one. The intermediates are more, you can say, the more fairly they can tell you. But naturally, we have the different kinds of sources like pneumonia, relay on maize cob for borer, we can use it easily. Then same thing is for the groundnut leaf eating caterpillar. Then this one is a relay on for the Sporoptera lichura in soybean, and then metarrhizum on the root grubs. That is a root grub is there in case of groundnut. For that, all this material is now we have developed in organic farming. The scientist has developed the various options, or maybe the applications are there, so that they can use it for controlling various pests and various diseases. And this is available on the large scale now. There are a lot of the institutes are there. Even our university, your university, trichoderma, which we are producing, it is also the one of the biological control for the fungi. So that can be, that is that fungi is the other fungi. That's why this is can be used as a biological pest control. Third is that these are all using this material. Largely, the whole world has been going back behind this organic farming or organic agriculture. But how much it is? That means 179 countries are now there is, engaged into this organic agriculture, which has covered more than 50. Now it is gone up more than 100 million hectares over there. Certified organic farming, that is only 1%. 2.4 million producers are there. Then there are in Europe, Latin America, Asia is also there, North America. 39.7 million hectares is a wild harvest collection area where we can harvest the honey and so other medicinal property, medicinal material. We are harvesting from that various organic material. So organic market for India, it's a huge market. We can say that market size is more than 6,000, 7,000, up to 2020, it was predicted 10,000. It has gone up more than that one. And 35,000 or 3,500 crores has been exports we have done. Then 25 crores domestic market is requirement. So 15 crores organized retail markets in our country only. So 1,000, that is out of 2,500, that is 1,000 crores is organic farming market over there. So it is increasing at the space of 23% cumulative. You can say the growth rate is there in last 7 years. So we are expecting that it will grow more than 35%. So there is a huge demand for organic market, but still the fairness, the quality, the health should be there. These are the principles we have to follow. And largely these are, you can say, the exported quantity commodities are spices, pulses, fruits, vegetables, oilseeds. These are majorly, you can say, produced in India in organic farming. So potential areas of the organic farming is that there are three categories we are identified, because we want to go for commercially, not for the simple things, but to go for commercial. The areas where the fertilizers and agrochemicals are there, which can be used. First, they are, you can say, the less used. And that's why we can see that in case of this one picture, you can see that these are the, you can say, potential areas over there. The green areas, you can see that immediately we can go for the organic farming. The brown color, that is Sikkim, an organic state, has already been declared as because they are previously they are using very less chemicals. Likewise, in case of the second stage, we can say that Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, and Assam will be there. But in case of Punjab or Maharashtra, because we are using highly the various, you can say, the chemical farming. So it will take time, and this really comes into the third category, or second or third tier system, we can use it. that these are the countries. So this is what kind of niche areas we have to identify first and focus on that one and go for the producing of the large kind of organic farming material. So debated issues: can organic farming produce enough food for everybody? Yes, it is not possible for to food everybody. That's why we have to go for the commercial organic farming is there, where we have the answer for that and how to go for that production for everybody. So is it possible to meet the nutrient requirement of the crops entirely from organic sources? That was the challenge, you can say. The issues are there, but yes, we have identified, scientists have identified the various options for that one. How to go for enriching the compost, how to go for the enhancement of the compost quality, then the vermicompost quality, then with different oil cakes we are using, which is not been earlier using. The conservation agriculture, we are using the whole biomass instead of burning into the soil again and enriching the, you can say, the nutrient quality of the soil. So this is all the material which we have developed, or the science we have developed, to getting the commercially we can go for the same quality sustainable yield which we have given earlier on some chemical. But if you go to the organic farming, it has to be with the same thing. Are there any significant environmental benefits from organic farming? Yes, there are a number of benefits are there, and people are saying that the quality of the food is increasing. You can say the fragrance of the this food is also very good quality. Then it is very good to, you can say, the digestion also very good to your health. It can use all quality in the material to your body. So it is very important for that one to go for the organic farming. Is the food produced by organic farming is superior in quality? Yes, it is available. It is, we have seen, because we have the project on organic farming and I have a lot of experiences I will share you. In organic farming, commercially feasible, economically feasible? Yes, we have the answer for that one. It is possible, but with the same time, previously or maybe at the earlier, you have to make some investments over there, so that in the future also the same material which we are developed or infrastructure we have developed can be used in, or we can go for the cooperative farming, also organic farming, so that that particular units can be established at one place and can be utilized for the group of that organic farming. So is it possible to manage the pest and disease in organic farming? Yes, we can see that. So which we have the challenges or issues, we can solve it with our sciences. So this is what we call it as the principle of the sustainability in human food security, is that security, safety, and sovereignty. Security means what? Ensuring all people access across the world have the access to sufficient food to meet their dietary needs. At least they get something which is needed by the human body per day. So this is what we are saying, that food security, but it is not that having the three qualities over there. Security is there, one thing is they can have access. Safety is that ensuring the people have the healthy, nutritious food that is free from contamination or degradation, which we are not thinking previously in food security. So safety is another one, is that it should be of good, safe material, or healthy or nutritious food. Sovereignty is that empowering people to make their own choices about the food they eat, when it comes from, and how it produced. So this is what the third sovereignty has added into that one, that food security is, it should be engaged with all this safety and sovereignty. That means neither we have to say, okay, whatever we are producing, you take it. No, now the customer has now choice, which is the good quality, which is the best one, which is residue free, because they have the power, they have the now purchasing powers over there. So they can ask for that such quality. So food security not only includes that is access to the food, but it is a safety also, and it should be sovereignty also. So this includes three topics, includes the food security. To go for the commercial organic farming, I'm saying you that one of the example we are studying at our Dr. BSKK with Apoli, that is, I'm the in charge of that organic farming project also. So that we have developed one model, which is 1 acre organic farming system model, which includes all the material. There is some part is from agronomy, some part of horticulture. So we can see that there is 15 R is for agronomic crops, 18 R is for the horticulture crops, 5 R is, you can say, the animal husbandry and other infrastructures over there, and 2 is that water bodies, 2 R is that. That means there is sufficient water we have to produce to them. Then in case of this season-wise cropping pattern, we already decided for Konkan region. That is in Kharif crops, we have the rice, then finger millet, proso millet, and different guntas are there. Then Rabi crops, we have the different combination, and summer we have the different combination. So from all the stocks since last, you can say 1.5 or 2 years, we have seen that there is a overall productivity or profitability is 1.18, which has not gone too less or too early. But we are doing commercial organic farming and we are getting at least 1.18, which is normally possible with the other method also. In case of the horticulture, we have the different kinds of the mango, intercrop cashew, tubers, cucurbitaceous, vegetables year round on various guntas in Kharif, then in Rabi, and then in summer combination is there. So that in 18 intas, we can intercropping system in mango and cashew changes as per the season. Then in broader view, the live fencing, that is planting koronda, bamboo, and etc. over there. Jackfruit, bullock heart, that is the rampur, that is bharangi, like this one, and different types of the plants are there which we are growing on the border as an additional income for that one. So that you can see that in horticulture with the different because the options we can get the 2.08, that is a BC ratio for number of horticulture crops and in 18 guntas area. In case of the alimentaries, animal husbandry, we have the cows, goat, and poultry, which is having the profitability of 1.78. So overall, we can see that if you look at to the organic, you can say agronomy, horticulture, and animal husbandry, in total, we are getting the benefit from that one. We are commercially, which is viable, and we are using different because the organic material only, which is available with us. So that can be possible. So commercial organic farming means that there should be sustainability. At the same time, there won't be any declining in the productivity. There won't be any losses in your productivity. So you can manage the pest, you can manage the weeds, you can manage the crop, manage the seed or irrigation in such a way that they all should be in organic forms, and it is available to with every, you can say, the ecosystem. So that we have to only talently or intelligently, we have to utilize how best we can possibly do that one. Then next one is that we have various, you can say, the research we have done on organic farming. So these are, you can say, the recommendations that for getting the rice bed cropping system we have done for the rice, then delicious bean or groundnut and sweet corn. We have the recommendation is that it is to be recommended with rice, which these are the different cropping system we have developed with the package of practices. So the recommendation is to get the higher yield of the economic returns of Kharif rice grown in the organic packages, Sahyadri 3, 4, Sahyadri 5, Karzat. These varieties are recommended, but the ground varieties in Konkan Gaurav, that is TG76, GL 776, with the recommended to grow under the organic package for getting the higher yield and economic returns. The another one system is that rice cucumber system. For that purpose, supply of 100 kg of nitrogen, that is 130 from the FOM, rice straw, and Glycidia green leaf manuring equally to rice crops at the 120 kg of nitrogen in equal proportion. So then FOM, neem cake, and vermicompost to Rabi cucumber was found to be most profitable. With the different organic material and their combinations, we have developed the nutrient requirement. We have filled up the nutrient requirement so that we can get the sustainable yield without compromising, without reducing, without declining any yield. We can achieve the same sustainability with the different organic material. Then in case of the mango also, we have that we can produce alfalfa. It should be manured with a 150 kg FOM, 20 kg Glycidia manure per year per tree, so that there won't be other nutrients which we have to add for that one. So you can get the better quality of alphonsos also. And these are the different experiments we have already done. This is the 4th year of the experimentation for organic nutrient management in rice groundnut system. You can see that in case of the grain yield soil, the 50% adherent to poultry manure plus 50% adherent to green manure has found to be the best in yield. Whereas in case of the groundnut, the vermicompost at the beginning, then rhizobium and 50% RDN through poultry manure has found to be the best in yield. So overall, you can say that this is what the 100% poultry manure, but this is the combination where we can go for in economics point of view is profitable. Likewise, there are so many experiments we have conducted for that one, organic weed management, then community. This is what we call as a yogic farming. You can see that in yogic farming, the organic farming has the highest yield over here. But in yogic plus organic is 27.16, but only yogic has no any yield or maybe very less yield. These are the meditation they are doing, Bija Samskar, Mrudha Samskar, and Padapa Samskar they are doing by using the meditation, but we don't get much of the benefits from that one directly. But when it comes with the organic farming or maybe the use of organic material or feeding the nutrients possibly, we can get the better yields. That is what I'm saying you. Natural farming or the other farmings are not bad, this Vedas, but they cannot able to suffice the requirement of the food of the country or maybe the population. They will not be in the profitable mode also. So that's why we have to go for the organic farming, which is developed by in the science-based evidences. So this is what we can say the comparative study of the different organic management of rice cowpea cropping system in Konkan region. Organic farming, that is 32.16 kg as compared to the zero budget natural farming. It is 26 only. Just for the sake of your only knowledge, what is the A1 and A2 milk? Just I am giving these two slides. That is A1 A2 milk. A1 milk is, you can see that the crossbred cows having the A1 milk, and this is the A2 milk is from the our desi cows, or you can say the ghee, or maybe anybody, any local cows are having the A2 milk. It is not only that ghee should be there. In A1 milk, the in case of the casein, you can say the proteins figure, in the 67th position, there is a histidine, which has been replaced by the A2, it is by proline. So this is the only difference between the what you call as A1 and A2 milk, and which is caused the A1 milk has the various different heart casein that is associated with the serious health conditions such as heart disease, diabetes, autism, irritable bowel syndrome, Parkinson's, and schizophrenia has been developed with this material. That's why we are now says that we have to go for the A2 milk, because in A2 milk we found that it is the protective against all allergies such as the gut, skin, rashes, hair, cough, etc., and contains the more omega-3 fatty acids, contain the vitamin D also. So that's why we can say that we are saying that now we have to go for the organic A2 milk. This is unit we have developed with us, that is called as a 15-drum therapy. What I'm telling you, the commercially, this is the alternative available for the plant protection measures. These are the 15-drum therapy. Out of 10 drums are having the pipe system, because it is a aerobic, you can say the consumption, decomposition over there. It requires the air for that circulation. So that's why we made it with the one pipe having the pump over here, because these are the 200 liters drums are there. So first one is for the brewing drum, that is the we can use for the nutrition purpose also there. That is first is decomposer, that is soil decomposer, then fish hydrolite. Fish hydrolite is for the especially for Konkan region, because in Konkan we have the large fish content, and which is we are going to be wasted. So in avoiding to that one, we are seeing that how best we can utilize that material, and this is the best source of, you can say, the calcium, as well as the best source of for your phosphorus also. In case of organic farming, we use only phosphoric acid, but with the help of this fish hydrolite, because the waste feed, we are using it with the effective microorganisms, we are decaying it and it becomes a water liquefy only. We can use it to drip also, we can go for the spraying also for that fish hydrolite. So this is what we have made it locally. We can call it as the alternative we have found out for the chemical farming. So, and then amil is there, vemil is there. Amil means ala mirchi lasun, vemil means bekhande mirchi lasun. Then Konkan kalpa is there, which contains, because the aloe vera is there. Then drumsticks leaves are there. Then curd, that is tak is there, buttermilk is there. So likewise, the combinations are there, various combinations, which is having the beneficial microbes also and growth promoters. This is Konkan kalpa is growth promoter, which can boost up the your vegetative growth fast, and which is act as a growth stimulator, GA, like this one. So this is what the different options we have made it available for the farmers. So the farmers can produce on themselves, or we can give supply to them as per their requirement. So then only farmers can go for the organic farming. Otherwise they won't, because you say that, okay, keep it as it is. When it is being eaten by some pest, okay, Hari, this is eaten by pest. So let it be see what will going to happen. This should not be. So we have to give the options. In organic farming we are doing, in natural farming, it says that it won't come. But in our system nowadays, it's a commercial farming we are doing. We have to feed the population. It happens to come. Okay, this is what the Nashuko farming I have told you, that is the pruning technique. So that is the first cut is given by the 6 leaves, at 6 leaves for the bottle gourd. Then again the second cut we are giving at again the next second leaves, and the third cut is given after the 12th leaf. So that there will be a 3G, first G, second G, 3G, and after 3G, whatever the that is what you call as a vineyard, wine is growing over there. Each and every branches is having a one female flower only, so that it will turn into a productive bottle gourd only, and there won't be any you can say loss of your yield. So ultimately, for assured, you can say the crop, we are doing this 3G or 4G technique. There is a pruning over there, so that whatever the amount of canopy required, the leaf size is required for the production of maybe 1 kg, 2 kg, 4 kg, 5 kg, whatever maybe the bottle gourd, maybe any produce is there, it is been successful. But ultimately, in case of the bottle gourd, the bitter gourd, we don't find anything too much of the difference over there. But in case of bottle gourd, we found the difference over there. So that's why I'm recommending that is 4G technology for bottle gourd cultivation. This is what we say is that in case of the mango, well, if you go for the organic mango production, there are a lot of strategies. For nutrient management, we have the number of options. For plant protection, garlic chili extract, the neem beweria is there, then Dutch perniarca is there. So these are the number of options we are using for plant protection. It's all preventive measures. It is not, I can say, the curative, but it's a preventive, because in organic, any material which we are using, it's not having the knockdown effect. They don't kill anything, but they can manage, they can overcome, you can get the biomass, they can create a biomass and can kill by starvation, or maybe by don't get access to get the food for that pest or disease. So they can be killed. So likewise, they are having, in case of foliar management, we have used the Panchagavya, Dashparnarka, Amrit Pani, Vermicompost, cow urine. All the options we are using. We are giving the number of, you can say, the applications over there. Then pre-harvest fungicide, because in mango, after you can say the harvesting, before harvesting, we have to go for some chemical, some material which can reduce, as you can say, the fungus load on that particular crop, particular produce. So that Rita is used, then the basil extract is used for that one, and we are seeing that proudly that we are getting the good quality mangoes, organic mangoes from that also. Then the pruning is one of the technique is there, so that we can manage the canopy. This is called as again the Nashuko farming, the concept over there. So all this material, this is what we are done, the intercropping, then different, there is a turmeric over there, planting techniques are there. This is one of the important factor for the coastal region, because in mixed crop, the tubers are there. These tubers are alternative for in Kharif season for the some of the crops in, you can say, the unutilized lands over there. So this can be used in more precisely or more profitably by having the two-tier system. You can say the suran, kindly excuse me because I forgot this. Suran is there, elephant foot yam. Then this is what you call as the adu is there. These are, you can say, and tapioca. These are, we are growing below the root, below the soil. That's why it is grown on lower level. Whereas the karanda and what you call as the aerial yam is there. These are been grown upstairs in the upper layer. So both the things are there grown in two-tier system. This is what you can say the aerial yam, then lesser yam, and taro, which is grown in the upper part. Okay, but whereas the xanthoma is adu, then sweet potato, then greater yam, which is grown in the lower part of the soil. So both the combinations we are using it, and we are using it, growing it on a biodynamic agriculture. Biodynamic agricultural, we can easily cultivate all these crop. So we are using it, the Rigvedas, the various, you can say, the nakshatras we are using. For example, in case of the Magha nakshatra, then Purva nakshatra, if you sow the crop, you can plant. Especially in case of the root crops, we are sowing it in the Gudi Padwa, because at that time, the Bhutatva is very, you can say, strong over there. So whatever you are sowing, the ground, that is the soil or the earth, is getting it more, you can say, the pressure over there, so that the growth of the root crops, because it is growing inside the soil, so the growth of the root crops will grow better into the soil. So that's why we are sowing at the Gudi Padwa, we have to go for the planting, or maybe the Akshaya Tritiya will be there. At that time, we go for the root crops planting. This has been considered as the best for that one. So strategies for promotion of organic farming, that this is what I am saying, it is commercially. If you go, we have to give the answers for that one. Each and everything is there, so that there won't be any, if they won't get, the farmers won't get the, what is the alternative to that one. If you have the some paste over there, आज मेरे यहाँ पे कीड आई है, क्या आमच्याकडे आज कीड आलेली आहे, त्याला जर तुमच्याकडे ऑप्शन नसतील, so they won't go for that one. So that's why we have to have some options for each and every pest, diseases, nutrition, or maybe the growth over there. So development of cropping system, organic farming, technology for promotion of organic farming, then accreditation of certified agency. Again, this is very complicated. Certification is very complicated things. Even as an institute, when I registered my area of organic farming of 5 hectares, it found me very difficulty for that one. And even the cost is too much. So farmer cannot afford it, and ultimately it loses. Mujhe nahi karna, I don't want to do that one, because it's very costly. So for that purpose, if you have some lesser cost, or maybe some incentives for that particular farmers, we can have to decide that policies over there. So we don't get any increase in the number of organic farming. The farmers who is having the large lands or large farmers, they can adopt to their small lands over there and go for the organic farming for their own purpose, even for the commercially. Again, it has been the very big question over there. So increase the awareness among the farmers, the government subsidies, and provide the credit at low interest rates. I mean, credit, I'm saying give the incentive and promoting the high value crops only. Because if you go for the rice or maybe some nagli or some, but they won't get. But even today also, these are serious core cereals having premium prices over there. Even for the mango, you can go. Even for the pomegranate, you can go. For bananas, you can try, or maybe something like vegetables, especially has to be grow under this organic farming to get the better quality. Though there are various schemes are available into the organic farming, that is National Program on Organic Farming, Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. Because I have to give this name to you because these are coming into your examination. So that's why kindly see that Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, National Project on Organic Farming again, National Horticulture Mission, then National Food Security Mission, schemes promoting the biofertilizer use, Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana also there. So prospects of the organic farming is that consumer acceptance should be there, eco-friendly, environment friendly, that technology should be there, higher biodiversity and better soils are the prospects. So these all topics which we have just tried to narrate it in very small way, but it is very important that not only the organic farming can be beneficial, but it has to be coupled with the commercial organic farming. Don't go for anything that आज माझं भागलं मला मिळालं आजचं 2 किलो मिळालं बाद झालं माझ्या कुटुंबाला. No, we have to sell it, we have to give it to the large population, we have to feed the population. So there should be commercially you have to use it, nutrient based you have to take in a scientific way, how much nutrient required for the plant, how we can go into suffice that nutrient, how which are the preventive, because the predictive pests are there, which are the predictive, because the fungicide diseases are there, what is the alternative to control that pest, what are the different techniques are there. Even you can, our entomology department, they might have told you, the Dr. Kabra sir has developed very good lab over there, so they can go for the multiple, because the organic material is available. So in my view, this is only possible if all the young generation like you come ahead, come together. They can get the entrepreneurship amongst that one, they can get the business for that one, they can become, we can create a one company, or maybe some authorities will. One of example, I'm putting it in the last moment only, last minute I will take. That is one of the example that IIM graduates, 3 IIM graduates has approached to me, and they have said that we have earned everything, but we want to do work. We have taken the education of management, but we want to work in agriculture. What we can do it. Simply after our discussions, they thought that, and even they, now what they are doing, they are doing only the business of like this one. The saving is earning, because that the fruits and vegetables which we are producing in our country, 30 to 40% are the, you can say, the losses from the producer to the consumer. Simply they have prepared a value chain. They have created a cold, you can say, the van over there. They worked over there. They give the better price to the farmer also, and better price to the consumer also, with the same rate, or maybe with a few only rate differences over 5 rupees or 10 rupees. But whatever the saving is there, because they say that saving of 30 to 40% losses in the consumer, producer to consumer, that is our profit. Saving is earning. They got more than 40% of the profit over there. So ideas are different. Clicks, we have to see that how best we can utilize our brains over there. So this is what I want to share you, sir. Thank you very much for patience listening or kind hearing over there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anybody is having any clarification? Because Dr. Bodke sir is having a vast experience in this field. So if you have any clarification, please ask the questions to him. Then I will have the vote of thanks. I will request all the students, if you are having any minor, major doubts in your mind, please get it clarified from Dr. Bodke. He is very much expertise in this field. Anybody?
At least in last year, last 2-3 years, when I had been the project in charge for organic farming, I came to know each and every small, I can say, knacks over there. And there are a lot of things that have been problematic for farmers' point of view. But you people, as in young people, entrepreneurs, can do a wonderful job into the organic farming. Even we have a great market for us. So many people are approaching for getting that. Give me the produce.
Okay, if no doubts, Dr. Bodke sir, I am very much thankful on the behalf of College of Agriculture. Yes. Please ask.
Padwe.
Yes, please ask, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you just you on your video also, unmute yourself and you can ask.
Padwe Sukesh. Yes.
Sir, can we use GMO seeds in organic farming?
Your voice is not clear.
Okay, switch off video and you can talk.
Padwe, repeat your question. Or not possible, then you put it into
A chat box, or you can unmute yourself.
Sir, he put his
There are
question
two
in
questions,
chat box.
sir. I just seen that one Padwe has already written. Can we use GMO seeds for organic farming, and tell something about vermicomposting for organic farming? Vermicomposting is a big business, I can say. Even in some of the farmers are now exporting the vermicompost to the other country from here. This is what we can say, that they are now exporting also the vermicompost. It's a big business. You can do a number of, you can say that even Dr. Kabra and Sir is also having that technology there with them, commercially viable. You can go and learn from them practically and can get the benefit. GMO seeds we can't use in organic farming. So that is a big question. Now we are struggling for that one, that we have to develop some variety, because whatever the varieties we are using in organic farming now, they are all bred it for the commercial, that is a chemical farming, that is a green revolution. The same varieties we are using in the organic farming. So there won't be, there is again in the big, the chaos or maybe the discussions over there. We now, every university is now screening the varieties which is highly responsible for organic farming. In case of the rice we are doing, or there are number of 300 accessions are there, and we are developing that which variety is best suitable for organic farming, for all the pulses, oil seeds and everything, so that they will come into the force. But at the time now, we are targeting that whatever the varieties are there, but not GMO varieties. Not GMO varieties should be there. That can be used.
Anybody? Any questions? Any clarification? Any student need?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
the scratches. I'm sorry, I'd seen that somebody said that don't make the scratches on screen. I'm sorry, I don't know, but it has happened unwillingly also.
It's okay. In online, it's always something is happening.
Mm.
Okay, Dr. Bodke sir, actually, in spite your very busy schedule, actually he's the head department of agronomy at Dapoli now. So he's having a very busy schedule. In spite of that, he has accepted our invitation, because he was also worked at Agriculture College Dhule. So definitely he is having a lot of affinity with this college also. So he will not deny to accept our invitation for delivering the talk. Okay, he is also at Rahuri actually. He was head department there for irrigation and water management. So there also is a very good friend also mine. So definitely I am very much thankful personally on the behalf of College of Agriculture Dhule and Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapit Rahuri sir for your valuable guidance to our students. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Male sir, you can conclude now.
Okay. So this is our last lecture. So now our 3 days tutorial classes program will be over. So thank you, students, to attending the lectures online as well as offline mode. So thank you, and thank you, Kabre sir.
It's okay. It's my pleasure.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.